Hey y'all, welcome back. We're going to start with the carburetor. It is a Quadrajet, also known as Quadrajunk. If you're not already aware, we are starting a different project. We've had some changes happen behind the scenes. So, if you, just to catch you up all real quick, uh, if you remember the small block Chevy 354 bolt main we pulled out of the mud truck, we are now going to build that. This is a 100%, as I call it, a blue collar budget. We're thinking about putting that motor, the Turbo 400 that we'll be building later on in this series, we're thinking about shoving it all into an S10. We have lots of things that go slow and crawl over things. I want something that I can basically be retarded in. That is the Cliff's Notes. In this video, you and I are going to learn together. I've never taken a carburetor apart and rebuilt it. I'm going to be following the directions from, trying to look behind you here. The kit I have is a Walker fuel system repair kit. It does all the different Quadrajets. So I'm going to be on walkerproducts.com/support, and that's where their instruction sheets are. I'm not going to lie to you. In 100% transparency, like I said, I've never done it before. So I'm going to be following the instructions step by step by step. And I'm going to bring you guys along so you have a video to go along with the instruction sheet. So y'all can learn how to do this as well. That being said, I'm going to reposition you to more of a top-down view. And we're going to tear into it, get it all taken apart, and hopefully get it in the carb cleaner this evening before I got to stop for the night. So let me do that. Okay guys, let me kind of orientate you to what I got out so far, what I'm using and whatnot. Our subject, Quadrajet. I have my rebuild kit over here. The box it came in. As you can see, I got 3 trays. There's roughly 3 levels of said carburetor. So everything I take off the top, everything I take off the middle, everything from the bottom, just to kind of keep stuff somewhat organized. I've got some brushes, a Phillips and a flathead, a pocket pry, some carburetor choke and throttle body cleaner. I got a fly. I got it on some rags, and then I've got a rag mostly for my hands. So to start off, take my Phillips, and you have 2 screws here, 2 here, 2 here, and it looks like 1 here. So we're going to go ahead and pop them out. All right, I'm going to lay them out here on this paper towel for the moment until I get them all out, so I can, so I can kind of see where they all go and the sizes they are. Let's fly. Okay, middle one seemed to be the same length. And then our one back here in the rear. Okay, so 5 out of the 7 are the same size. Not a big deal. All right, next here, you have your rod that comes in, your throttle rod. It has a little tiny keeper. That thing is going to be a booger if you lose it. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not. It is uber tiny. So we're going to go ahead and put that up there. Okay, it's going to stand up. And what that's going to do is allow us to pull this rod out. We'll figure out what that goes back into in a little bit. We know all of our screws, so we'll go ahead and put them back up here, or put them up there. Let's see if we can manipulate this rod out. Some way, somehow. There we go. That goes from your choke vacuum up here to the side to operate these butterflies. I found 2 more screws in here. That's not good. I don't have a small one, so a big one's gonna have to work. These are little panhead screws. Wrong screwdriver. That's what was holding it. So, all right. Now the biggest thing holding it, I think, is this linkage. Alright guys, it is the next day and I got some explaining to do. Last night I recorded pretty much the entire disassembly and cleanup. However, I didn't actually record it. I thought I did. I did not. So I have it roughly put back together to the point to where we were. I just looked over and I see a piece I forgot, so I'll explain where it goes in a minute. That being said, I'm going to spin you around, show you what we got, and we'll go from there. Okay, so where we left off yesterday was trying to get this rod out of its home down here, and it was connected like so, sitting here operating this plunger. What I ended up having to do was, there's a roll pin, get a pointing device, that runs through this piece, through the arm, and into here. I ended up having to push that roll pin out, take this off, and then I could remove the linkage. Once that happened, it then allows you the ability to pull this piece off. There's no gasket there right now. This is the one that was there. I sprayed a little bit of this cleaner on it because it was stuck. No biggie, we got it apart. So you have your plunger, and a spring that's sit in this hole. Oh, my hands are a little shaky this morning. Plastic cap that sits over the float. You have your needles. There's the spring. It just sits down in that, oh, that fell off. Sits down in that hole, rides around the little piece in here, not a big deal. All right. Then your float comes out. Right here on the back, there's a brass piece. It has this little doodabber in it. Okay, now I'm going to show you the next pieces. So down in here, you have this brass piece we're going to take out. You have two brass screw heads in there. I hope you guys can see them. One here, one on the opposite side, and then you have this black one, oh, right there. So that's what we're going to take out next. Small screwdriver. That is what they look like. Nothing too crazy. Having a pick really helps. There's another one. Plus it gives you a chance to poke through them, make sure they're clean. So we're going to start with this, or we're going to do this black one next. Feels like it's loose. Yep. Oh. No harm, no foul. Alright, as you can see, it has a little nipple on it. And, yep, there is a ball bearing in here. Or a BB, whatever you want to call it. There it is. So we'll remember that's where that goes. We're going to use a big screwdriver. We're going to take out this brass one. Okay. And it has a washer or a seal under it. Put that back on there. Okay. Still have a little dirt in here I need to get out, so we'll get to that in a second. We'll flip it over. There's two screws here on the bottom. And they have washers. Looks like lock washers. Left that one behind. There we go. These are the same length, so it doesn't matter where they go or which side they go on. That's the bottom one, so it goes in that one over there, the blue one. Base lifts off. Again, I've already cleaned most of these. I've cleaned all of it. The middle just needs a little more. Sprayed them down with the carb choke cleaner, throttle body cleaner, and then wiped it down with a rag. So we'll set that over there. behind us. Another gasket. Put that over with the other one. And then this is as far apart as I think I'm going to go. Spray it a little bit. Got a nylon bristle brush. We'll see if we can do something with that. Alright, that looks a lot better. So when I cleaned this the first time before the camera messed up, or I messed up with the camera, I went through and I shot cleaner into all these holes. I mean, screw holes, it didn't matter. If it was an orifice, it got some cleaner. I did it on the top, I did it on the bottom, all of the middle, wiped out any gunk I seen, and sprayed down the outside edges, kind of cleaned it up a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to move all these tools and stuff out of the way. We'll break out the rebuild kit, and for our purposes we're going to see what we're going to reuse. Okay, so we're going to start with the small parts first. In here I have a new cap and a new spring that go here. Okay, so this you put on, you stretch it over and work it down. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. This spring, you do the same thing. And then it sits in like that. So now I get to fight actually that was pretty easy. Going back together was way easier. So okay, that is now done, ready to go. Okay guys, where we left off was I was trying to figure out how to get this off. And the simple answer is just you break it because it's all crusty and hard. Come on. There it is. And then we're just gonna stretch it, and we're gonna work it up to where it goes. Which seems to be okay. And then the final thing I'm going to do is that washer. I'm sure it's still good. Right here, there's another one. Now, the reason I'm not using this brass one over the one that I have, well, this one looks fine, but as you can see, looking around it, it's solid. This one has a hole in it, and I don't know how much that's going to affect something. I know it worked with this one, so I'm not going to mess with that one. I also have this piece here I'm going to use, so we'll set that over there, put that there. Alright, so this one here is the original. If you'll notice, that tip is blunt. That one is not. So I'm going to use this one, because what it does is it sits in here. And to me, it seems like having that pointy tip, I know you can't really see in there, is going to do a better job. I may be wrong, but that's what I'm doing. So all the rest of this, I'm not going to change out the ball bearing because, well, it's a ball bearing. It'll be fine. Mine looks just the same. Now this kit is for like 4 different carburetors, all made by Quadrajet. So some of this stuff you won't use. So I'm going to set it over here off to the side. Maybe one day I'll find a carburetor that needs it. Because as my neighbor says, Sanford and Son don't get rid of anything. That's for you, Roy. I may take it to him and be like, here you go. Alright. So, we got all our pieces done that we're going to do. Now, we'll set all that up there best we can. And here we have all of our gaskets, so let's see what we got. Alright guys, so we are cleaned up. Everything's ready to go. I did have to get a new rebuild kit because I ordered the wrong one. So there are numbers. Mine are right here. So what would that be? That would be the passenger side front ear are the numbers. I looked the second time I had to get one. I did the right thing. I actually looked them up, found out what they was off of, and I got the right one the first time. It's amazing how that works. So we are ready to start going back together. So I guess there ain't nothing to it but to do it. Bring our little tray of parts over here. I'm going to start with the little pieces here. And I moved my screwdriver. Give me just a sec. Clearly I didn't. So we're going to figure out how to struggle bust this in there. Oop. I know my hand's in the way, but alright. Tighten that all the way down, because that's where it was on mine. Elbow. Then we'll do the other one. Okay. And then we'll do the third one, the black one. Remember, it has the BB in it. Swish for all you basketball fans. Come on. There we go. This one also was all the way down. Our brass one with the new washer. Okay. Now I just want to take a look at my gasket. Okay. We're going to set that up there. Next we'll put in our float and our needle. We're going to connect the needle to the rod on the float. This little thing free spins, so it's a pain. There it is. There, we got it. Next piece we're going to place in will be this. It sits right there. Then we're going to put our piece like that right there. Drop our spring in that hole. Alright, y'all. This seems to be the most tedious part thus far, is getting everything to go where it's supposed to go. And fighting the gasket all at the same time. And then as I say it, it seems to be wanting to do all the things right. Oh, no. Not being able to see does make putting this in. I'm going to fidget with this until I get it, and then I'll come back to you and explain what I did. But I got a feeling this is going to take a bit. Okay, guys. I got it together. Once I got going, I didn't want to stop. There is a whole lot of pieces you gotta wiggle and jiggle just right to get lined up and in all at one time. That power piston, I think is what they called it, that I was fidgeting with, trying to get it lined up and held into place and all that all at the same time. Unfortunately for me, it being my first time and trying to do it with a camera in my way, it just wasn't getting done. So I apologize. Once you get that power piston and those two little metering rods in where they go and held into place, and you line the holes up for all the little metering rods and jets or whatever they are that come through the top into the from the top to the middle. Yeah, it's a pain. There's no nice way or easy way that I know of to explain it. It's just, I felt like I had to hold my tongue just right to get it in there. I got it in, I got the top set on, and that's where we're going to pick up at. I do apologize. As you can see, I ripped one gasket trying to do it. Luckily, there was a second one in there that all being said, take your time. Hopefully you have patience. I don't. Okay. I want to get some bolts back in this and get it held together so I don't feel like if I bump it, it's going to come apart and I'm going to have to do that whole fiasco again. So we know our two long ones. They go here in the front. Then we have one on the outside there, one on the outside there, one there, one there, and a long one back here in the back. So let's tighten all these down. As you can tell right now, I'm just running them down till they touch. Get them all ran down, and then these can't go in yet. They go all the way through the top and into the bottom, so we'll put them back. We have the two very fun ones that if you drop, they're going to go inside the carburetor, so be very careful doing these. Take your time, don't cross thread anything. Alright, so I'm going to start here, then I'm going to go here, then here, then here, and that will be my tightening sequence. Whether that's right or not, I don't know. But that's how I'm going to tighten mine. Whenever we get this on the motor, we'll know if it was the right thing to do or not. I'm not trying to over tighten anything and pinch that gasket in half. I'm just yep, that's tight. And I'm good with it. Okay. So I guess we will flip it over and put the bottom on. That seems safe. All right. There we go. There we go. Our two bolts here with the washers. Again, gonna do the same thing. Tighten it down until you feel good about it. Alright, that seems to be good. Everything looks tight and snug and secure. Before I yank this one out, I'm gonna make sure. Yep, that seems good. I'm gonna put it up there. Now the fun part. This rod goes in right here. It's got a little key on it. There we go. This was in the second hole. So we're going to do that. And then I'm going to take a flathead screwdriver, stick behind this roll pin. Okay, so I got it lined up. Just using my screwdriver to work in that roll pin. There it is. That's all she wrote, boys and girls. Yep, seems to be working. Alright, this one, I believe, went in from here to here. There it is. And then this one, I'm going to explain it to you. Move the camera out of my way so I can get a bigger light in here. And then I'm going to do it. This little piece goes down in here, and there's a rod down there you got to connect into. And then this piece will come through here, and we'll put a little clip back on it. I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Alright guys, so off camera, I figured out what I was doing wrong. Whew. Yeah, that was something. So the hole for said rod, down here in this hole, it's a pain. It really is. I got it on there. I know how to do it now. There's a flat rod, sits like this. You got this piece here. If you flip it all the way up, it'll bring it to its highest point, and then you put the little end, not the big end, which is what I kept trying to do, even though I said to put the little end in there, and it's near the end, and you just kind of got to feel for it and make sure you have a good light. There it is. Now I want to reach down in here with something and just push it over onto it so it can't come back out. Yep, I'm on. Okay, and then I'll put the clip on it. I think you can see that. That's what we're working with. I think I'm going to try and use a pair of needle nose to get it started. Seems like the least likely way for me to drop it. Doesn't mean I won't. Okay. That is on there. All right, that shouldn't come back off. Whew. Now, I took this piece off by mistake. And I believe it rides right here. That seems right. Okay. There's two little notches on it. You got to slide them over that bar. Now for the fun part. I got to take this and slide it on that bad mamma jamma. That should be nothing less than pleasant. I think that went on a little too easy. That's on. So let's see. Looks like everything works. That's it. Okay guys, that took a whole lot longer than I expected by days. I think I'm on my third day. Finally have it all put back together. Granted, part of that was waiting on parts. I didn't do the right thing when ordering my first kit. That's my fault. That's also inexperience at work. So, there's not a lot to it.